What's happening, people? It's Gunnar Souls back again after such a long break, but we are officially back on the channel talking all things Arsenal, all things Liverpool. Big game, big competitions, and it's a race for top four has officially begun. Tune in right after the intro. So how are we feeling, Gunners? Obviously, we've got a big game against Liverpool, one of our games in hand, and it could set a massive precedent for whether we can get this top four or not. And how far has this project truly come? Of course, we've seen the press conferences from Klopp, from Mikel today as well. So we'll be looking into that. We'll be looking into our predicted 11 and how we think we're going to line up against Liverpool. There's news about Tomiyasu returning and actually training with the first team. So will he come back, or do we want to see him back in this team, or do we want to stick with Cedric, who's been pretty impressive, if we're being absolutely honest, and whether we want to rush, Tomiyasu back into the fold. For me personally, on the whole Tomiyasu thing, I'm going to be leaving him out of my 11 just because I don't need him rushed back in a game that we don't necessarily need to win. Doesn't change the trajectory of where we finish the season, and it'll just be another mistake where we rush a player back far too early than they actually need to. So, when we look at the press conferences, for example, like today, Klopp obviously saying about Mikel doing an incredible job. We have to be ready, and I sense that we will be. And obviously, looking at Arsenal's project, he was talking about a clear idea how they want to play young, full of talent, full of joy, experienced striker with Lacazette and three very exciting young players. And he goes on to talking about how he felt about the Man City draw and how that impacted the mood at Liverpool. And he was talking about it, and it all depends on the result tomorrow night you know, and he's not going into this overconfident and overzealous in terms of he does think Arsenal's going to be a challenge, and I don't blame him for that because you know what happens when teams go into games massively overconfident and massively over, you know, um, going for opponents and underestimating them. So he has got the right mentality and he's got them Liverpool, players thinking the right way that even though the result went for them, it doesn't mean anything unless they beat Arsenal. So they are coming for this, and this is the first time in a very, very long time that both legs have meant something, the home and the away. Normally, one of them is at the end of the season where there's not a lot to play for. Even when you look at Mikel's first season, when we played behind closed doors, it didn't actually mean anything to him. And they didn't have the invincible record. This was straight after the pandemic when the lockdown ended. And we beat them 2-1 because the pressure wasn't on them. And then when you look at we're going to look into Arteta's press conference as well. I do have his, sort of word by word what he also said. So we're going to have a look into that quickly as well. So when you look at, sorry, let me get my notes out of the way. When you look at whether, credit to Jurgen, the coaching staff and club of what have they created, they haven't just created a team to compete and be successful. They have created a huge culture and understanding of who Liverpool are today. The stadium and the atmosphere can create the support, the level of communicate is along the things, not just individuals. And when you look at kind of the comments he's saying there, that's kind of where Arsenal are, in my opinion. We're also building towards something. Yes, Kenny, man, how you doing? Long time no speak, man. I'm doing very well, thank you. How you doing? And when you look at when he talks about whether it's Liverpool's blueprint that we're trying to follow, it's very different because of histories, and but the timing of success are different. But we all want to achieve the same thing, to be the best team in the league. That's our focus, and that's what I've been telling people. People think Champions League football or top four is where the goal is for the Kroenkes, and it's far from it really. And that's the thing that we need to be focusing on, is the fact that this isn't necessarily where the end goal is. It's about being the best team and building towards what Arsenal once used to be. And in terms of like how is the players' confidence, do they have a similar performance to the Man City? You need that type of result, and the reason we don't get that result against City is because we don't dominate every single aspect of the game. The moment you can open the door, you know you will be punished. Tomorrow we are going to have to play at least at that level or better to control every single scenario. Um, he talks about him not needing to be on the touchline in the future, but at the moment, obviously, he is just because of the understanding and obviously tomorrow. And are you planning any surprise tactics? Yeah, I hope he doesn't galaxy brain this one, but you never know with Mikel really. Anything could happen with him. But in terms of like, are Arsenal one of the best teams in the country? No, they're better teams in the country because that's how the league table shows. We haven't done anything that is going to try and improve us, and that's the mentality thing, that I talk about with Mikel sometimes. It's he knows there's a lot going on and there's a lot more to go. I can imagine, man, the traffic's crazy from what I'm hearing. So there's a lot of people going to. It should be a good atmosphere actually. And being at, I believe the game, yeah, being at Old Trafford, I don't know. I'd be nervous as well because it is Atletico, but don't forget they have been not great this season. Um, why did you leave? Let's talk EPL. I mean, I'm not gonna comment. Let's just say things didn't go quite well, but I hope them all the success. And it's just different paths and different career paths, I guess. And our paths just didn't align, and I had other commitments as well. So it's just one of those, man. I hope they're doing well. I've not spoken to any of them in a while, but I hope everyone's good on there. Um, oh, so you're going to the game? Yeah, should be a good game, man. It's Old Trafford on a Champions League night isn't a bad game to be. So no, hope you enjoyed the game. I can't. To be honest, I want you guys to win, so there's more games for you to focus on. I can't lie if I'm being completely honest about it. Because then you'd have the quarterfinals to focus on, and when you're at that stage, being Man United, you'd expect them to take it a bit more seriously. So it could work in our favour in the top four race. So yeah, hope you guys win on that one. Yeah, and but yeah, in terms of like this whole, how do I see this game going? Because there's a lot to be spoken about. Am I confident? Because we did when we played them at the Anfield, a lot of fans, especially Arsenal fans, were very confident and very sort of overconfident that we're gonna do something. So I mean, I know what you're saying. Mathematically, we should have it, and it's ours to lose. But at the same time, you can't write the Premier League off. Like think about the Liverpool Man City. Like City at one point, well, what was it, 13 games ahead, and look at Liverpool, they've caught up. Um, so I don't know if it's a foregone conclusion. There's still plenty of games to play, and a lot can happen. So that's just my opinion. But yeah, I mean, this game, look, it doesn't really change that. It doesn't change whether we can get top four or not. But what it does, it sets a precedence for us to kick on and how far this project has come and whether it's come a long way or are we kidding ourselves and actually we're far, far away from the likes of Liverpool, from the likes of Man Cities, your Chelseas, etc. I mean, I expected Man United to do a lot better this season for the team they had, the quality they had, but they kind of dropped off. That's more due to the recruitment more than anything. They needed a CDM just to solidify everything, but unfortunately they just couldn't get that signing done, and they decided to go for Cristiano Ronaldo instead, which for me was the bad move to make. But hey, it's not my club. Thoughts on Chelsea rescheduling? We have a very tough schedule left, in my opinion. Oh man, that annoyed me. I'm not gonna sit here and lie. It annoyed me because we've got Chelsea, and then I think it's within 36 hours we've got to play. I think it's the Wednesday, and then the Saturday we're playing, and we're playing at 12:30 against United, and then we've got two games which could determine top four for us if other results don't go our way in terms of winning against Villa, the likes of I think it's Palace again. We've got no, we played them, but whatever games we've got against outside of the top six, we need to make sure we're winning them. And if we drop any points, these are going to be vital. So they're setting us up um, very tactically to make the North London derby mean something, in my opinion. So it is. But at the same time, we're going for Champions League football, and we need to kind of get used to playing 3 games a week or playing within 3 or 4 days. So it could be good practice, and of course we're going to be depthing our squad in the summer, but it'll give us sort of a nice understanding of how we're going to do if we don't improve. I don't know what I want in this game. If Liverpool win, they go 1 point off top. If Arsenal win, they go clear of us. And that's the thing, man. And you know what? It's a massive predicament because you don't want Liverpool or City to win the league. From a United perspective. but you don't want us to run away with top four. So you probably will want Liverpool to win. But again, that's just a shitty place to be. If both your rivals are winning the league, it's just a bit peak. Um, nah, thanks, G. I'm glad to be back. It's time to stop being lazy and make content. Do you think Chelsea are in the top four race? Ooh, do you know what they are? I know they don't want to hear this, but they are. They've not, and I think it's that 1 month that really, really destroyed any hopes of them completely going clear. Because if you think about it, we aren't that far away. And I know people are going to say, well, if you win your games in hand, that is, we're four, I think 4 points, or we equal the point tally if we win all our games in hand. And it's a big if because we've got Liverpool, Chelsea, and Spurs as our games in hand, and United to play still. So anything can happen. But if we go into that Chelsea game winning all our games, anything's possible. They'll be dragged into it, and we could be taking third. I'm not saying that's happening. That's just a hypothetical scenario. But I do think they need to go in with the mentality that they could be slipping into a top four race if they're not careful. Maybe the United game will be pushed. That's what a lot of people are thinking. That it could be pushed to the Sunday if they don't make the quarterfinals. Um, but either way, I don't think we should be focusing on when the game is, but we should just be prepared to be playing it. And sometimes, you know what, fixtures aren't always going to go our way. And next season, we're going to have this predicament every single week. So I think it's better to be ready now and understand what we're going to require in terms of squad, how many more players are we going to need, before we kind of make make a thing of that really. But if you are watching, do subscribe, like, and if you're on Twitch, do give me a follow. It does massively help, and I'd appreciate it a lot as well. And if Liverpool win, they have 20, and don't they surpass the overall trophy haul that United have? So, but they even the league titles anyway, which is huge if they do that because people have been taking the piss out of them for not winning anything for 30 years. Um, but in terms of this game, I'm not that confident. I'm going to be honest. I'm one of those. I don't really know how this game is going to go. We've got every chance of winning, but we've got every chance of losing a game like this. So it's very difficult to pinpoint how this is going to go. I just want Mikel to keep it simple. Don't do anything stupid, and it should be good. Yeah, they'll have 60. I think you're on 65, is it, or 66? So unless yeah, I don't know if you're winning the Champions League, but yeah, you can always hope. If you're in it, you can win it. That's my mentality. But what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna go into sort of what my predicted starting 11 for this game is going to be, and obviously the sort of backline kind of makes up for itself. Really, there's not really a lot to explain. Oh crap, I'm pressing the wrong things. There we go. So in net, it's gonna be Ramsdale. I don't think there's anyone else that really comes into that position. The two centre backs are going to be White and Gabriel. I don't think anyone's taking their spots. And so knowing you have to scroll so far down. Left back's going to be Tierney. I don't think anything there is going to change. I don't think Tavares is going to come in. And then when you look at the right back position, so there is obviously a lot in terms of, huh? All right, so Kenny's 18. Okay. Okay, nice. Happy, I guess, yeah. Um, but yeah, in terms of the right back position, there was Tomiyasu being mentioned that he's back in training, and also he could be available to be picked. Personally, regardless of any fitness, I'm not playing him. There's no point rushing him into this team because we need him, but we don't need him for this game because a win, lose or draw, it doesn't change anything. The win does, but the drawing and losing and dropping points in a game like this doesn't mean as much as dropping points against Villa and further on from there. I think it's Brighton that we've got and Crystal Palace. I think they're more important to ease him into those games rather than this. So for me, and also Cedric has him, but I do think this is the game he'll get absolutely cooked. But I'll keep a bit of faith in him. I don't rate his defensive ability, but I've got to stick with him just because there's no point rushing Tomiyasu back. You'd rather have a fit player playing. and also his deliveries could be the difference. You never know. We have been playing a 4-3-3 of recent with sort of Party in the base with Xhaka moving a bit forward and then Odegaard playing the right hand side, but a lot more advanced. And I do think we're probably going to implement something similar just to keep Xhaka away from being a liability in a game like this. So I'm going to stick to it. I think we will play a 4-3-3, even though I'd want Xhaka to come in a bit deeper just to support. But I do think it's going to be like that. Now, a lot of people are asking whether we should bring El Neni in. You're right, man. Next month, ready for the 30 days of fasting. Can't wait. Obviously, a lot of people are thinking about bringing El Neni into a game like this, or maybe bringing Lakonga, or even giving ESR a go. But for me, I just think when you've got a formula that's working and the players are playing in sync, there's no point of changing it. Just because a player's better doesn't always mean he can play the system better. So for me, just keep it the same. Don't do anything silly in this one. And if you want to try it, do it against Villa. That'll be the best opportunity to try ESR in there instead of Granit Xhaka. Not in a game that's like this big or this pressurized. There's no point of trying to do something brainy when it's not needed. And in my opinion, the most important player in our system is I was looking at the I was looking at the chat and I got that wrong. Yeah, the most important player in Martin Odegaard, and he's going to be the key. He's going to be absolutely crucial to the way we play and the way that Party plays as well. Them two are going to be the reason we can win or lose this game. Odegaard, the way he's been dictating play and been able to sort of just open defenses up and actually get us playing strongly. So it's important to get him into the game and give him the ball as much as we can to be able to just thrive, really. And that's going to be crucial. And then when you look at sort of Granit Xhaka as well, as much as he does a lot of underrated things in terms of supporting that left hand side in the runs he makes to keep fullbacks on their toes. So we don't know how this is going to go, but that's the midfield I'd go with. I do kind of want to revert back to a 4-2-3-1, just because having Xhaka a bit deeper in a game that we're going to be completely, they are going to be attacking the aggressive against us would be the sensible thing to do. But it's working. Why change it? And then, of course, it's Star Boy Saka in this position. There's nobody else I'm putting in. I'm not resting him for Pepe. Not a chance. That's not happening. I don't care. I don't care how good Pepe is. Saka, for me, is too vital to drop in a game like this. And when we go into the striker, it's going to be lacazette. I don't think that's going to change unless he's tired. That's the only time. Even then, I think they'll probably play him. But in terms of that left wing position, that's the question mark for me. Because but we'll get on to it. I'm just going to get to a few comments. It's just a holy month for Muslims where we fast for 30 days to kind of remember people who are in less privileged positions than ourselves, and then we've got our Eid celebration afterwards. So in essence, it's a holy month for Muslims where we can't eat from sunset to sunrise. And Morecambe fan saying he's predicting Arsenal to win 2-1. Not a good. Oh no, I've not been Arteta out. I've always said just to be patient, and we probably see what he could do. And Lucas here with who would we prefer to sign, Elise or Jeremy Pino of Villarreal? Do you know what? It's a tough one. I mean, of course, the obvious answer would probably be Elise, just because he's got Premier League experience for a season at least. But any experience is experience. They're both young, and I like them both, to be honest. But I'd say Elise for me. I prefer, if you're gonna go young, especially with the team we've got, you may as well go Premier League proven young player rather than someone who needs time to adapt. And because we need that left hand side to be competitive as well. ESR will probably be moved into the middle, or Martinelli as a striker. So there could be a left wing vacancy, especially if we kind of sell. Especially if we sell Pepe to bring in another attacking player that fits the philosophy a bit more. Am I shocked about where we are? Do you know what? Yes, I know. I always expected us to compete for top four. I just didn't expect us to be the forerunners or the front runners of top four. That's what I will say. Um, I'm not too sure. I don't watch enough Serie A to comment on that one. But in terms of my left mid, I am going to go Martinelli for multiple reasons. I do when a team plays a high line, it makes sense to exploit that with pace and aggressiveness, and that's something that Martinelli offers us. I mean, it's not a changed 11; it's fairly picks itself. The only two positions that I wouldn't be shocked to see changed is maybe Cedric for Tomiyasu. Even though I'm massively against that, that's the only thing I would expect to happen. And then maybe Martinelli comes out for ESR. The only thing that would probably shock me the most. Uh, yeah, now that I read it. No, I was gonna say even if he is a player, I don't know because I don't watch the City, so I ain't commenting on anything on that. But now that I read it, I know what you were trying to say. But yeah, you'll probably catch me out. And to be honest, I'm not really fussed if I get caught out on things like that. It happens. It's part of the territory. But yeah, no, that's the 11 that I'm going to go with. In terms of danger men for Liverpool, who do I expect to be the ones who are going to cause us a few issues? I mean, Salah might be out, but I think that's all mind games. He's back in training today, and he's probably going to be ready. It's Arsenal, who isn't going to be ready to play. They'll play an 80% fit Salah if they have to. Obviously, Van Dijk is going to be crucial to see how he plays. Fabinho is going to be crucial. The one I'm scared of the most is actually Luis Diaz. I think he's just been phenomenal since he signed. He's been a threat to any team that's played them, and I feel like they're the, they're probably going to win. But I'm going to be optimistic. I'm going to be hopeful, and I'm going to go my prediction for 2-1 Arsenal win. Um, I'm not asking for a lot. I just because for me this will just show us if this project's on the right tracks because we have been in good form. The two most informed teams in Europe, well, definitely in the Premier League. I think Liverpool are one of the most informed teams in the last 10 games as well. And it'll be good to see how we match against a team like that. Guys, get your questions in and get your score predictions in, and we'll be wrapping up in a few moments. Arsenal won through. Wow. Okay. So, I mean that's been happening recently. So you know what? You're probably not wrong, and you're probably bang on with the prediction there. If you're going off of recent results there. Yeah, Liverpool won 14 in a row. Yeah, I mean that's what I mean. It's the two most informed teams in England and the most informed teams in Europe. And if you're going off of the last 10 Premier League games, I do believe we sit in more form than Liverpool, but I'm not too sure. I think that's because of draws and stuff like that as well. But either way, we've had an impressive run, a good run of form. Dropped points against Burnley, unlucky against City in my opinion. We should have got something out of that game, and if we can play anywhere to that level, it'd be pretty amazing to see what we can do. And who's gonna win the league? Who's gonna go? You know what? I'm gonna stick to my prediction of Man City, Liverpool. Um, I'll say Man City, Liverpool, Chelsea, Arsenal for the top four, and then who's gonna go down? Norwich, Watford, and who else is at the bottom now? I've completely forgotten because I know Burnley have picked up some form, so they're no longer there. But let me just see the league table before I say who goes down. Yeah, I think Norwich, Watford. Do you know what? I'm gonna go Everton to go down. I just don't know where they're getting their wins from. Their recruitment was shit. They bought Van der Beek and Dele Alli, which didn't make any sense. You're in a dogfight. You're not trying to secure top 10. Um, Lucas here saying 4-1 to Liverpool. Mad. Now, I hope it's not a beatdown, man. That'd be absolutely gutting. But yeah, so just to confirm my answer on this, I'll go Man City, Liverpool, Chelsea, and Arsenal to make the top four, in my opinion. I'm just going to be biased on that last one. And Norwich, Watford, and Everton to go down. I mean, Burnley could, but they've got too many games in hands that they could get things out of just to get them out of that relegation zone. And like Kenny's saying, Everton do have a tough run. I mean, at the minute, they can't buy a win, so it doesn't matter who they play. They've got Newcastle, who probably beat them, and then they've got Watford, Burnley, United. Yeah, they're getting pammed, aren't they? They're not doing nothing. It'll be an open game, I think, and they will. 100%. I mean, they're a lot more clinical if you give them opportunities, but I do think we probably take a different approach in this game. I don't see us going gun ho and trying to completely destroy them. It just wouldn't make sense. But again, Arteta's done crazier things. You may as well go try losing, like in terms of go attack them, try and win the game and lose, then not try and lose. So no, I hear that. I hear that. I'm just hoping we can win or at least stay competitive in this game. Um, and yeah, no, that's for me. It's going to be 2-1. I'm going to stick to my 2-1 prediction. I really want us to win this game, not because it changes anything or we become a better team or anything. It's just it shows us that we can do something in this league, and if we get that striker and that midfielder, what we can become. It's just a hope, and that hope can kill us or it can motivate us. Um, in terms of tonight's game, United, Atletico, and who else is playing? Do you know what? I can never remember who's playing unless I check or have it open. But in terms of so you've got Ajax and Benfica, 2-2. Do you know what? These two games are mint. Like they're quite exciting to watch because it's anyone's game. The lineup's not even out. Oh, so I can't even. Um, do you know what? I'm gonna think. Yeah, Mr. Champions League's gonna score a winner, and I'm gonna go United to win this. It's. I'm gonna go 2-1, and I think what's gonna happen is it's gonna go 1-1. It's gonna go to the very dire end of the game, and then Ronaldo pops up with the goal as usual in a Champions League game where he does shine, and he's probably been better in the Champions League than Messi, but Messi is my goat still. And in terms of Ajax Benfica 2-2 at the minute on aggregate, I reckon Ajax will go through on that one. But yeah, I'll go United 2-1. I just don't see Atletico winning this, and yeah, no, that's what I'll go with. I think Arteta is looking for high volume passes, not a DM. Ideally, he'd want another Odegaard. I mean, especially if we're looking at sort of Partey's role in this team and him becoming sort of the base of the six, and so you've got two advanced eights, one right hand side and one on the left hand side. If he is doing that, then of course he'd be looking more on the likes of. For me, Awar fits both molds, so that's what I still think we could be going in for Awar. And if not Awar, I'd like De Jong just because I think he can go forward and backwards, both defensively. And if the truth is that Kessie is coming in, then there could be an opportunity to go and get him in, especially if we can drop like 50, 60 million. I think Barcelona will bite and let us have him. So they're the two. And the other alternative, prem proven, would be Declan Rice. And you can move Party up for a bit forward. But look, that I have no idea, what they're looking to do. But I do agree. I do think he wants someone a bit more advanced, and we're no longer looking for a CDM, especially with the way Partey's taken that role on. I think if Partey didn't perform, we'd probably be looking at a DM. But we'll see. I think it's still up in the air, and we may actually go for both profiles and make that DM a cheaper, like a Kamara, who's going to come on a free. Um, Kenny's saying he thinks it's going to be 3-2 Atletico with a Ronaldo hat trick. Fair, that would be good watch. That would be a very good watch. And Ajax 6-1. Okay, I'm not that confident. I don't think Ajax are going to absolutely destroy them. But yeah, no, that's a wild. I mean, funnier things have happened. Absolutely. So yeah, I think we're just going to wrap it up there. I'll get these last few comments in. United will not be Atletico. You think they're going to score five? I think your Benfica one and your Atletico one are swapped over. They ain't going to score. Atletico scoring five. United may as well delete their club. They might as well destroy that stadium today and start rebuilding and calling themselves something different. That's not happening. That is not happening. If they score five, my God, I'm probably never going to do YouTube again because That would be a madness. But crazier things have happened in football, so not with Ronaldo. Nah. I'm not even taking that. That's unless you meant Ajax are gonna beat or Benfica are gonna beat Ajax 5. That's more possible. But that is, or mate, if that happens and you put a bet on it, that would be crazy. Uh, yeah, Liverpool scored 5. You're talking about an absolutely, you know, an attacking team versus someone who defends. And no, I'm not a United fan, but that'll just be crazy. Hopefully, Lucas, yeah, my plans are to try and revive the channel. How regularly I come on. One of the things you can do is follow my Twitch, because I might be doing sort of Friday night chill zones, like where I play random games like simulations, Football Manager. Because I do miss it, I actually do miss just interacting and doing a bit of social media, and so yeah, so I will be doing it more regularly, and I think 7, 8 o'clock is probably the time I'm going to go live. I decided to go a little bit earlier today just because it seems like everyone's going live at 7, so I thought I'd just do a little bit earlier, give people an opportunity to go watch other content as well, and so yeah, so and obviously Champions League's on. I want to go eat before that and kind of watch the Champions League, and I might be live again at 10 o'clock on Jess's channel on She Knows Arsenal if she does go live for a preview, so we'll be discussing that as well. But if you follow my Twitter, you'll know what I'm doing. But I thank you for your support, and if you've not subscribed already, please do subscribe and like. It does massively help, and I am trying to grow the channel and try and be more consistent. The only time you're probably not going to see consistency is probably when Ramadan comes. It's going to be a bit tough. Um, I'm not saying they're not a good side, they just don't score a lot of goals. That's all it is for me. I mean, to get 5 would be insane. I wouldn't say they're world class this season, but yes, they are a world class team traditionally. Um, Joe, if you're that confident, you may as well put some money on it because I don't think the bookies are going for anything more than a 2-1 in this game. Maybe United doing it, but defensively, I think are too good to let 5 go. So I don't know, man. If I was you, I'd be putting big money on that. If that I don't know. I just can't see that happening. If that happens, mate, fair play. It's not about them be no. You're missing my point. Atletico are a good side. There's no denying they're not a good side, but they just won't score 5, in my opinion. I just don't see. I don't know who they score 5 against. Even shit teams they don't score 5 against. They're very sort of counter-attacking, and so are United. That's why I see the game being 2-1. I just think Ronaldo will be the difference, um, in my opinion. And Atletico, in my opinion, aren't that clinical. Um, oh, are they out? They might. I don't know if the is it going to show me? No, it's not going to show me on here. Or if they are, then I don't know, because is Suarez back? Is Griezmann playing as well? Because I know Suarez is in and out of the team. But I don't think the lineups are out on like most apps. Are they out on like Twitter or something? Trying to find it. It's annoying because I don't follow every team, so it's a bit difficult to get. And let's see what United are rocking, and then we'll end the stream once we've kind of seen the lineups and okay. Oh yeah, they are out. Okay, so De Gea, Maguire, Ronaldo, Fred, Fernandez, Varane, Dallo, Sancho. Do you know what? That's a good team. That is a good team. That's what I'm saying, Lucas. That's what I was saying as well. Like, I'd rather them win so that they play more games and it could give us an advantage, especially a quarter final. At that point, you may as well give it a go. And with some of the teams that do see United beating some of them, it's only if they come across a big team that I see them struggling. But if I'm looking at that lineup, ooh, I don't like it when Bruno plays. Fred and is it McTo who's Fred in there? Oh, so it is McFred that returned. That's a bit strange. I would have played Matic personally, but yeah, no, I'm still sticking with it. I think United will just have too much. Oh, what's Athletics? Uh, There we go. Let me see if they've posted theirs. Yep, they have. So they have Starboy Ja Felix coming to Arsenal next season, and they got DePaul, Koke, Herrera playing, and Griezmann up top. They got Lorente, Jimenez, Savage, and is that Lodi? Okay, I don't know who that is. And then Renan Lodi as well. I mean, it's difficult, isn't it? It's difficult. I'm sticking to a 2-1 either way, but I'm going to go United to win this one. I don't know why. I just see them scumbagging a win. But yeah, I hope you guys have enjoyed the first stream back. There will be a review as well after the Liverpool game. Possibly, maybe not tomorrow, but it will definitely be on Thursday. And it'll be like a quick short snippet of what I think of the game, and just giving a few player opinions and ratings on there as well. So I hope you guys have enjoyed. Whilst you're here, do subscribe and like, and obviously share around if you can. Follow me on Twitter, which is how do I get it? On Gunnar Souls, and subscribe. And if you're watching on Twitch, do pop me a follow. I'd be massively, massively appreciated. Take care, guys. Enjoy the Champions League night, and enjoy the rest of your nights as well.